What's up, guys? Welcome back to... This is gonna be so awkward. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy, Duhhwayne. Today, we're in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, wrist twisted like a stir fry.
Alright, so yeah, guys. We're in my kitchen today because we're gonna be cooking dinner. And not only are we gonna be cooking dinner, we're gonna be cooking dinner and we're gonna be doing a little mukbang. Okay, so first things first.
First things first, I'm the realist.
I need to cut this open. It's a cheese knife. So I got the oven preheated. I need to season my meat and season my potato, season my whatchamacallit, Brussels sprouts, and let those sit or whatever. So I'm gonna do that real fast. The seasonings that I'm gonna be using for my meat today: garlic powder, this Memphis style barbecue, this smoked mesquite, I don't know how to say it, mesquite, whatever, pepper, salt, some Creole seasoning, more black pepper, onion powder, the steak seasoning, minced garlic, and then of course butter. For my Brussels sprouts, I'm just going to use olive oil and salt and pepper for that. And I'm actually going to do that real fast. 1 second. So, got my Brussels sprouts. I'm going to douse these in olive oil. And then give those a little swirl. Let them get coated in that olive oil. No, I'm joking. But let these get coated in the olive oil. And then I'm gonna use this pepper. Put some ground pepper on there. And then some salt. Then toss those bad boys in there. Sturdy. Let these sit aside. So for the steak, pull your steak out. The sleeves are up. For your steak, like I said, I'm gonna be using all these seasonings. So you're just gonna go ahead and put them bad boys on. And, oh, well, that was a lot. No way, no fashion. You ain't got a certain way to throw it on there. Just make sure you coat it. Little onion powder, salt, and then flip that thing over. Make sure that seasoning gets into that meat. Flip that thing over and do the same thing. All right, so while I was waiting for the oven to preheat, I also I didn't make it yet, but I also did the same thing that I did to the Brussels sprouts, some asparagus spears. So I'm throwing those in the oven too with the asparagus, with the the Brussels sprouts, because I figured I would want more vegetables, which is wild. Never really thought I would ever be saying that as an adult, but here I am saying that. Why is my blinds like that? I'll fix that in a second. All right, so the skillet's hot. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on there. I want it to get a good crust. So, hold on, is that crooked? I don't think it is. But I want it to get a good crust, so I do got it kind of real hot up in that thing. So, go ahead and sit this bad boy on there. Let it do its thing. Let it sit for about 2 minutes or so. And then check it. Flip it over. Put some butter up in there. Some minced garlic. We're going to do our little thing. All right, so I'm about to go ahead and throw this thing in a broil real fast. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more butter to it so it doesn't stick to the cast iron, one, and it doesn't dry out. Cause don't nobody want no dry steak. I'm sorry, y'all was zoomed in on my mouth, but don't nobody want no dry steak. So I'm gonna throw it in here. Already got this, already had it on broil for my vegetables. So I'm gonna throw the whole thing up in there for about 5 seconds. Well, not 5 seconds, but for about a minute. But I'm gonna throw it in there on broil or whatever, and I'm gonna let it do its thing while it's broiling. And that's just to make sure the inside is kind of where I want it, because I want it to be medium well. Hopefully I don't cook it too long, because if I cook it too long, y'all won't see this video. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my steak out and I'm gonna let it rest on top of the stove. Let me move these potatoes out the way. And I'm gonna let it rest on top of the stove, just so I don't let it, look at that. Just so I don't let it like overcook or anything. And everything is done, actually. I'm pull. No, these can go. All right, guys, so I'm hot, I'm done, but everything is done being cooked. I left the Brussels sprouts in there a little bit too long, but I'm not mad because I like a little crispier Brussels sprout because they're thick. But let me show y'all everything. I'm not gonna scratch the video. It looks good. Hopefully it turns out good, but I can lie about that if it turned out nasty. I feel like I'm a good actor. I'm gonna try to act if it is nasty. Here's your steak. I have it resting on a paper plate. Asparagus, whatchamacallits, what's these? Brussels sprouts, and the potatoes I made yesterday. Here go me and my little plate or whatever. It's, I don't know if the camera is picking it up as well, but that is the perfect steak right there, how I like it, with the little pink strip. We're gonna be talking about, if you haven't read the title of this video, we're gonna be talking about moving on after a breakup and kind of like relationship stuff or whatever. That's, Brussels sprouts are good. They're a little bit overdone, but whatever. And I had potatoes yesterday. But before I get started, like I do want to disclose I'm no expert in relationships. Nor do I want to make it seem as if I know everything about relationships, because I don't. Every relationship is different, and I can just tell you about my experiences and give you advice from my experiences. And that's it, pretty much. So like, I also have notes. So if that's what you see me looking at, I wrote some down notes. Moving on after you break up, it's one of like the most hardest things that you can do. It sucks. Like, you never really know what could possibly happen. Sometimes you can get back together, sometimes you don't. You never know which way you're gonna go. You never know how life is gonna change, because y'all can get back together in an hour, or y'all cannot get back together and not speak to each other at all. So, you can't expect everything to happen in a day. If you want to truly move on, you can't expect it to to happen in a day. You're going to go through days where you don't want to do anything, or days where you don't want to get out of bed, and that's fine. But there's a limit to where it becomes depressive, and make sure it doesn't get depressive. You know, you never want to be depressed over some, you know. So never, if you get down and out after a breakup, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Go through the emotions, feel those emotions, because you have to let your body heal, and it's your way of healing. It sucks. It's not the pleasant part of healing, but it makes you a better person on the other side, honest to God. Do you really need closure? I don't think I need closure. never really cared for closure at all, personally. Do I have A1? Hold on. We don't have any A1 sauce, but that's actually really good. But yes, do you really need closure? It depends on who you are as a person. I like to live my life by never letting someone else validate my feelings. I validate my feelings first. So once I say what I have to say, that's it. Like, that's my closure. Like, I don't really need to keep talking to the person, or, you know, like, once it's said and done, that's it. Like, once I say my piece, that's it. I don't care if they continue want to talk to me. I don't care how I feel, but once I explicitly kind of get my emotions out, that's it. Is that closure? I guess it is closure in a way. But do you need it? Sometimes, yeah, I guess. Yeah, if that is closure, yeah, you do need closure, but we'll see. Another thing that I have, stay off social media. You don't need to be posting on Snapchat. Y'all know how y'all be posting on Snapchat trying to make it seem like y'all going out or y'all doing something fun. It's trying to make it seem like you're not in a relationship and you're not bothered by the breakup or anything like that, when you're only posting it because you are hurt. Like, that's all it is. You're trying to make them jealous, trying to make it seem like you're not interested anymore, when deep down inside you know you could cry. You know you don't care. But social media makes it super complicated nowadays, to where if you're in a relationship, you kind of like go to their social media and kind of see what they're going through. Like, okay, when you look at my social media, you only see one side of it. One side of who I am. You never really get to know who I am fully unless you are in my life, you know? Which I'm sure that's how it is for everybody. But everybody in that stage never really thinks about that kind of key concept, and they look at it in a way where everything just turns spiteful. Like, everything is if the shoe fits type of situation, you know? So, like, I don't know, like, make sure you're maintaining your mental space. I mean, your mental health, because it is very draining. It's very taxing breaking up with someone, and then you want to know about their every move, because maybe that was your routine, to where you hung out every day, or maybe you got, you know, like, your relationship. It's kind of like losing somebody by death in a way, as dark as that is. Like, a breakup is kind of like someone passing away. Like, they're kind of not there anymore, and you kind of have to go through the motions of mourning them. Mourning, not like mourning, but mourning, you know what I'm trying to say. But it's kind of like that. Like, they're not there anymore, so you kind of have to rebuild yourself and kind of go about your day, and you kind of realize how much that person was in your life as much when you break up. Because, like, damn, it's so weird. Like, when, let's say, for instance, if you sit in a car and you're like, damn, we used to sing this song all the time. Just weird stuff like that. Like, just small weird stuff. So make sure you're putting yourself first. Make sure you're making sure that your mental health is good. Make sure you have a good support system also, you know. You never really want to be out there all high and dry. Having a good support system is good, but with that support system, also make sure that they're able to maintain the support that you want, because you're also dumping on them. Don't dump on them. Make sure if you're gonna go to someone and vent, say, hey, blah blah, say, am I able to talk to you about this? Or, you know, you never want to dump on your friends, because then it comes to where you're the strong friend and deep down inside, that strong friend might has his or her own struggles, but they're keep consistently putting you first, and you're not really listening to them or giving them that type of also, you know, that love that they're giving you. So make sure you're not dumping on people. That's one thing I do want to say. With anything, whether it's a breakup or anything, don't dump. Always ask for permission to dump on people feelings wise, because you never know where someone else's mental capacity may be. So that's, if anything, whether you like this topic or not, that's one thing I would like for y'all to take home. You're probably already at home, but take to your, like, actually take in, is never dump on your homies. Always ask if they're up to talk to you about this, and if they're not, don't take it personal. Like, they also have their own life that they could be possibly going through stuff with. So you never want to sit there and dump and feel a certain way if they're not down to allow you to vent to them. Maybe ask them for once what's going on, you know. Maybe something's been bothering them for weeks, but they've been consistently listening to you. So, you know, just make sure it's an even playing ground all around. You're not just that one friend that's all about them and their own, living their own headspace. This one is something that I personally do, is I never try to be friends with my ex whatsoever. I have no reason to be friends with them anymore, because why? Like, why would I want to be friends with them? I know myself, and if someone breaks up with me or whatever, because I've never really broken up with anybody, but if someone breaks up with me, it's usually because they have fucked up and they think that I can't handle it, or they think that I'm out here doing something when I don't need to cheat. I don't need to do anything like that. I've never cheated or anything a day in my life. I don't condone cheating, but it is what it is. But I don't need to befriend my ex. Like, we were together. What more do I need from you? We were together and we didn't work out. We could potentially work out as friends, but why would I want to be your homie? Like, if we weren't friends before, we're not going to be friends after. I'm going to let you know that right now. Like, if we weren't friends before, don't expect us to be friends afterwards. Also, don't look for something to fix about yourself if you're the reason, not if you're the reason, but if you got broken up with. Don't think that you're the issue, or that, you know, that something's wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. Jesus Christ, I should have got a better knife and not a butter knife. But just make sure you're not looking for something to change about yourself. And if you do want to change something about yourself, go for it. Some people do want change. Like, some people cut their hair because they want a better, it's like relieving that stress, you know? Perfectly fine, but do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you think that the person that you were dating is going to come back to you because you did this and they're liking. Because then that's just, you're letting them have power over you. You don't want that, because they're not going to treat you the same when y'all get back together. It's just not going to be the same. But, you know, it sucks. Speaking of respect, just like, have a little bit of respect for yourself when dealing with that situation, like when dealing with it, because it can bring the ugly out of people. Like, some people being hurt, when people get hurt, they turn into some ugly people. Not like physically. Some people turn physically because you may not be attracted to them anymore, but that's neither here nor there, and that has nothing to do with me. But sometimes after a breakup, like, personalities change. Like, people become stalkers, people become crazy, it's just crazy. Like, just make sure that you're respecting yourself and you're maintaining who you are as a person, to where you're not out there doing things that's unlike you, that's not in your characteristic, that you would normally do. I am getting full, guys. Like, I haven't eaten all day, but I'm full. I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat this steak, but I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. But remember, the last thing before I end this video is, remember, your ex is short for an example. They're an example of what you don't want, or they couldn't be an example of what you want, but they're not fully all the way there, which is fine. Everyone has strides that they need to go. I still have strides that I want to go, whether I need to or I want to. It's something I feel like I need to. So never judge anybody from where they're at, but never forget that an ex is short. X is short for an example. They're an example of what you don't want. But thank you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for cooking with me today, hanging out. Oh, excuse me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.